So let's talk a little bit about the concept of respect. Okay, the concept of respect. When we love someone, we want to share with them. We want to give them. A couple, when they get married, at the beginning, they love each other, and they're willing to kind of ignore the things that they don't want to see. When you give something, you give from your heart, but it's kind of your decision to give and to love because you want to. It's coming from your own desire, unless we are pleasers and, there's other ways of sharing. But I'm talking about love. When you love, you really want to share. But you want to share because you feel the love. We don't really sometimes see if the other person needs to receive it or not, because it's come from the right calm. It's come from chesed. Love comes from chesed. We want to share. We want to give. But we're doing it because there's something that we gain from it. It makes me feel good to share. When it comes to respect, it's coming from the left column. It's coming from judgment. And why is it coming from judgment? Because I'm not sharing now because I want to feel good about myself. I share because the other person needs it. Or for example, with children, that we want to give with them. If my son come and ask me, Mom, I want, I don't know, what kids want. I want bicycle, right? If I want bicycle and I know that bicycle is not good for him, I would say no, right? If I would say no, it's not anymore the chesed, because it's already coming from judgment, right? Because it's I love him, but I see what he needs. Now, bicycle is not maybe a good example, because why not to give him a bike, right? But you know what I mean? Like, it's if I see that it's not good for him, I want to sleep at my son's place and at my friend's house, and his friend's house has a dog and he's allergic to dog, and as much as you want him to be with friends, he cannot go because he's allergic, right? So you want to say no, you want to say yes to him, but you say no because it's not good for him. So even if it's sharing, you're sharing with your child, even if he doesn't see it at the moment, it's come from a place of judgment. Respect comes from a place of judgment. When I respect someone else, I give someone else a space. Okay, for right now, it's not comfortable for me because I don't see eye to eye with the person. It's more comfortable for me to have a great conversation and to agree with one another. But when I don't agree with one another and I'm still accepting the other, it means I respect them. Many times love goes away because there's lack of respect. Even think about couples, so at the beginning everything is great. We have a butterfly in our stomach. We are willing to ignore things. We even are willing to respect someone without knowing we're doing it. But when times go by, and we get used to each other and we start to live together, if we don't give the space to the other person, we love someone so much that now we want to run their life. We know what's good for them and we want them to be like we want them to be. The moment I want someone else to be like I want them to be, then I don't respect their space. I don't respect their opinion. I don't respect who they are. And I don't give them the space to be. And this is what happened also with the student of Rabbi Akiva. Each and every one of them, sorry, I don't know what's wrong with my voice today. Okay. Better. Each and every one of them loved each other so much. And each and every one of them thought that what they understand about life, this is the thing. And because they were so sure that this is the right thing, they wanted out of love to give it to the other person, to share it with the other person. But they didn't see where the other person are, where the other person is. And so they forced them. And when they When we don't have respect and someone else doesn't think like us, or we are not able to bring the other person closer to us in our opinion and what we want, we get upset, and then we start to judge. So it was not lack of love there. It was lack of respect. And the most important thing is to really give respect to one another. It means that I love you, and it doesn't take away if you think different. I can argue with you. We cannot agree with each other, but I respect you as a human being, as someone who comes from the Creator, like I came from the Creator. Okay? The Kotzke Rebbe is saying, like, there is no two people with the same face. There is no two people with the same opinion. And most of us, if you really look at life, I'm not even talking about politics and the world is getting crazy at the moment. In our own life, if my friends or my family or people that are close to me, they don't think like me, judgment starts, and it's lack of respect. Okay, if I don't give the person the space to be, it's lack of respect. So in the time of King Shlomo was the son of King David, right? Shlomo was the smartest, person alive ever, and he knew things. Shlomo, he knew things from the side of the kedusha, from the holiness, but also the side of the negativity. Just a quick outside story of what the story I wanted to tell you. It says in the Zohar that he used to ride on an eagle. He used to have an eagle. Okay, obviously eagle is center column also. And he used to ride on this eagle. He was put a note with the Yud Ke Vav Ke, with the tetragrammaton, with the name of Havaya. He would take a note with that name, and he used to go to a place called Cardamom, in the Arei HaChoshech, in the mountains of the dark, where we have the two angels. I don't want to mention their name. There were two angels, very, very negative angels that judged the people of Israel. It's in the Zohar, and they're locked there. Obviously, they're locked in a not physical chain, but in a spiritual chain. They are locked in those mountains that they cannot go away, and there's so much negativity over there. But King Solomon wanted to learn from them as well, and the most important thing, he was not afraid of them. When he came, he knew, that he can handle it, and he took the eagle. He used to go to those mountains. He used to take the note with the Yud Ke Vav Ke, and he used to throw the note with the Shema Meforash, with the Havaya name, into those down into those mountains. And he was up, and then it was in the mountain, and then in the ground. It was very, very deep. And when he threw away that name, all of them, they were so afraid. They were all hiding from him. And then he used to take the eagle, and he used to dive into the bottom of the bottom there. And he used to talk to those angels. And those angels that came from the negativity side, they taught him everything about the other side of the negativity. Because, many times the reason why we want to know our negativity is not to feel bad about it, but we would like to know our negativity, because if we don't know our negativity, we will not be able to overcome it. And King, that's what we can learn from King Solomon. He was not afraid from the negativity. Therefore, he had the knowledge from the Kedusha, from the holiness, and from the darkness. He had all information. Many times, when we are studying Kabbalah and we read the Rav Ashlag, and the Rav Ashlag is literally saying you need to know the negativity within. But we cannot concentrate only on that, but we need to know it. And the reason why we need to know the negativity, because we need to know what to fix. We want to be able to see the real truth. And many times that we don't see the truth because we tell ourselves stories and we inventing reality that doesn't really exist. It's just things that we're thinking. But if we would know negativity, we would know that we're making that story because I'm afraid. I'm making that story because I'm insecure. I'm making that story because I don't want to get hurt. I'm making that story because, but at least if we know that we're making those stories, we will be able to someday let them go. And that's the, King Shlomo, King Solomon, he was not afraid from the negativity. King Solomon died. Rechavam was also a righteous person. He was a good king. He ruled everyone else. And then there was there was a fight, and the 10 tribes, all the other 10 tribes, together with Yerovam, took one side. And then in Jerusalem was the tribe of Judah and the tribe of Benjamin. So Rechavam, that he was the king of all Israel, saw that the 10 tribe is going away, or they're separating themselves from the rest of the Israelites, and he came to fight with them, and he took 180,000 soldiers, and he came to fight. So the moment he came out of Jerusalem, a prophet stopped him. Achias Shiloni stopped him and said, "Don't fight them. It's not coming from them. It's coming from the Creator. It needs to be a separation." Therefore, Rechavam, when he always listened to the Creator, he didn't care about his ego or about I'm going to lose, such and such percent of my kingdom. And he says, if this is the word of God, I'm going back. And the people told him, why are you coming back? You should fight. And he says, no, if it's coming from the Creator, I'm going back, and I'm going to be with the tribe of Judah and the tribe of Benjamin, and this is my kingdom right now. So, he was not afraid to lose the kingdom to the other tribes. After many years, after a few years, Sukkot came. The holiday of Sukkot came, and in the holiday of Sukkot, the entire nation of Israel, they are going into the Holy Temple. Now, in the Holy Temple, it was a special chair for the king. But now there are two kings, because we have Rechavam, that is the king of the 2 tribes, and we have Yerovam, that is the king of the 10 tribes. But Rechavam is the one who's in Jerusalem, in the tribe of Judah. So he was the one who's going to sit here. And Yerovam ben Nevat, the one that ruled the 10 tribes, he was such a righteous person, such elevated soul. But in the moment that the ego comes in, the ego came in, and he says, what, I'm going to go to Jerusalem, and Rechavam will sit on that chair, and I'm going to stand next to him? What people will think of me? I'm not taking those tribes. I'm not taking anyone. Nobody from the 10 tribes going into Jerusalem. We are not going there. Instead of that, I will make a wall, and we will work idol worship. We will bow to the Egel, and there's many secrets about it, but I don't want to. We're just telling the story of the Midrash. But we're not dealing with, like I said, people are not stupid. They were all righteous people. So who will let him do that? He wrote a document. I hope I'm not boring you with all those long stories. He wrote a document that says that you should do everything that your king is telling you, even if he's working idol worship. Now, he knew that people are not going to sign. So what did he do? He put between every person that was right, that was following the truth, between every person that was righteous, he put 2 evil people. And again, evil, we know evil is there for the self alone. I'm not going into the Kabbalistic terms of it, just the story. So he put 2 evil people. So every time a person said, wow, we'll never sign that document. This is crazy. The king wants to work in idol worship. They say, no, the king is righteous. He's not going to do this. It's just just something that is written, like today in the contract that you want to buy a house or you want to sell a house, and you're signing so many documents. You just want to buy a house, and they say, oh, this is normal. This is just a procedure. This is just, and nobody really reads those letters, right? So this is what happened, basically. They didn't read those letters. Oh, it's just a procedure. Now, it's not really what you think it is. And apparently everyone from that 10 tribe signed up that document. They came to Yoḥai Shiloni. Now Yoḥai Shiloni, prophet. And even Yoḥai Shiloni did not notice those small letters, because Yerovam came to him himself and he told them, sign up that paper. And Yoḥai Shiloni didn't want to sign up, and he convinced him. He says, you know me, I'm a righteous person. You know that all the time I went with the Creator. You know that I will never leave. And he actually convinced him that he's okay, and the small letters that he sees there doesn't really mean anything. And Yoḥai, he signed that document. And then the whole 10 tribes, the 10 tribes that are lost today, the 10 tribes that we don't know what. There's more stories about those 10 tribes in the Bible. It's not ending right there, but the separation really started between the tribes. So until today, we know who is the tribe of the Jewish people. Like I said, it's the tribe of Judah and the tribe of Benjamin and Levi, obviously. And all the others are, we call it the lost tribes. We don't know who the Israelites right now in the world. And then obviously the Rav always said that whoever is drawing into study Kabbalah and study Torah, they must be Israelites, because all the others, they have no desire whatsoever to study, not Torah, and for sure not Kabbalah. Okay, so Yoḥai Shiloni came back as Rabbi Shimon Bar Yoḥai, and like Yoḥai Shiloni created separation between the Israelites, Rabbi Shimon corrected, and Rabbi Shimon brought a unity between the between the Israelites. So he's the Zohar, and as you see today, it's not only the tribe of Judah, it's not only the Jewish people that study Kabbalah, there's many others. And slowly, what Rabbi Shimon with the Zohar, because only the Zohar brought all of us together. Before the Zohar, none of it really happened. The Torah belonged to one nation and one nation only, and it didn't really spread out to the world. And today Kabbalah is out there in the world, bringing eventually in the time of redemption all Israelites together from whatever religion they are right now and forever place in the world they are right now. And that's what Rabbi Shimon doing with the Zohar. He's bringing everyone together only with the power of the Zohar. All right, so that's why Rabbi Shimon came. Rabbi Shimon came is to bring unity between everyone else. Now let's just briefly talk about that unity, because we were talking about respect right before, and I heard one of the Kabbalists saying something very nice. There are 600,000 letters in the Torah, right? When we're talking about unity, if one letter is touching another, the Torah is not kosher anymore. We cannot reuse that Torah, and we have to correct it. And he says, but why? If we are all in unity, the 600,000, if we are all in unity, we touch each other, we hug each other, we are in each other's life, then it's unity. And then he says, no, because every letter is unique. Every letter is an individual that is standing by himself. Every individual is part of the Creator and is unique, and he has the right for their love and for their opinion and for their own being. Okay? But together it's creating a Torah. All the letters in the Torah, 600,000 creating one Torah. Right, but it's made out of 600,000 letters that does not touch each other, that is not going to each other's life, that give respect to one another. I am an Aleph, and I am a Bet, and I am a Gimel. And each and every one is a letter complete with its own energy. They're not touching each other. They're not going into each other's life. They're not interfering in each other's life. They're strong individual, very powerful, that is in unity, give respect to one another, so we can live as a community. that tomorrow, Friday, we have the sun conjunct Uranus. And I was thinking about it, that's that space, because the sun is me, is who I am, is my essence, is my power, it's the sun. Okay? Wow, I totally missed that. Got involved with, excited with the stories. The sun is me, and Uranus is Aquarius. We're talking about Uranus for a long time now, since we had that great conjunction in Aquarius, because Uranus rules Aquarius. And Aquarius is the higher level of consciousness that bring all of us together. Aquarius and Uranus is the energy of community. And they are conjunct, they are going together. That's why I remember the astrology girl says, wow, this is exactly what's happening in the sky right now. When the sun conjunct Uranus is me, is my powerful me, is my sun, is where I'm shining. Okay, is conjunct Uranus, is the community. But the community, but it's liberation. You understand? Uranus is like independency. It's like exactly like those letters in the Torah, that each and every one, we are powerful, we are independent, we know our power. And remember, we have all those Taurus in the new moon of Gemini. We're going to talk next week. We have so many planets in Taurus. Values again. I know who I am. I give values to someone else. Not only value me, I also value the people around me, because when I value the people around me, I really value me. Okay, it's not about I'm pulling to my side, telling my side of the story, because, oh, I love everyone and I want unity. If I love everyone and if I want unity, to give space to one another, that's the respect. That's to be together, is to care for the other person, but let the other person be who he is or who she is. And that's Uranus. That's the energy of Uranus, is the energy of like each and every one of them is, each and every one of us is an individual, is a strong individual in the society, in the community. And that's very, very powerful. Also remember that Mars is in Cancer. We talked about it last week. Let me see what's happening in astrology. By the way, and that Sun in Uranus it's happening tomorrow in Rabbi Shimon. You know, so it's so amazing, you know, how in the day of Rabbi Shimon we're staying awake all night, Thursday night, and then Friday all day is the death anniversary of Rabbi Shimon. And that Sun Uranus cannot be better for that day from astrological point of view. It's where we're really open. We can see things that we didn't see before. We can realize things that we didn't realize before. We can come to decisions that we didn't have the courage to make it until now. You know, many in Uranus is all new. Remember, Aquarius is all new. It's all future. When the Sun conjunct Uranus is, what's next? You know, what's next? How can I see next? How can I see beyond? How can I see what's really good for me? How can I stop making stories? How can I really respect someone else? You know, and there's a lot of decisions that can be made at that time. So it's a really, really great, it's a really great time. Everything that has an expiration date, you know, can be expired. That is not good for us. So it's a really seed level. I will really recommend. Never mind that it says that in that day, yes, of course, we need to read Zohar as much as we can and connect to Rabbi Shimon and connect to the power of Gadlut and connect to the power of perseverance and everything we talked about, and respect. And, you know, remember Rabbi Akiva that never let go, that never thought that he's not good enough, that he wants to move on. So we can all connect to that very, very strong power. Also, we have Mercury, you know, and Mercury is going to go into Gemini also on Monday. Mercury is the ruler of Gemini. Maybe because it's happened Monday, maybe we'll talk about it next week more. Remember that Mercury and Gemini are the ruler of the North Node, the tikkun of the world that we have right now. So that Mercury is still in Taurus on Sunday, will trine Pluto. And by the way, I noticed that, you know, Mercury and Venus and the Sun, they're all personal planets, right? And the Sun is a personal star. Obviously, it's our essence. They're all making aspects to the trans-Saturnian planets like Pluto. So Mercury is going to trine Pluto, and Venus is going to sextile, and these are positive aspect. Neptune, and this, okay, the Sun is going to square Saturn. Anyway, but it's like there is a connection between Mercury is a personal planet and Pluto is belong to the sphere of Keter, and Neptune to the sphere of Bina. So it's like the personal with the impersonal. Even the Sun is personal, and Uranus is the sphere of Keter, Chokhmah, Bina. It's Neptune is Chokhmah and Uranus is Bina. So already we connect into a higher level of consciousness. We connect to Bina, so when we have this week all those personal planets in a nice relationship with the outside planets, outside the trans-Saturnian planet, it's a combination of really bringing the individual with the klal, the prat and the klal, the individual and the global together. All right, so I can be part of the global without giving up myself. I can bring my power to the table. I can bring who I am, but I can still share with everyone else. I can bring that unity that, the Torah doesn't belong only to me, belongs to everyone. I mean, you need to really be outside of the box to think that way, because everybody think it's belong to them, and to be open and to accept. And it's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful energy when we are part of everyone and we see ourselves as each and every one of us as a part of a creator, and each and every one of our friends and our family and people we know and we don't know, they're also part of the creator. So if we feel that unity that Rabbi Shimon brought,